and welcome to my latest video. Today I'm going to be showing you a step-by-step guide to contouring for fair skin. I'm going to do two different types. I'm going to do like a daytime quick one, and then I'm going to show you what I would do on an evening out. Contouring can be so scary, contouring and highlighting as a concept. I only really sort of understood and really started to use earlier this year, but I have found so many products that from a varying price point, from really cheap to really expensive, that if you're looking to start, then these would be a great starting point. My all-time favourite contouring product is one from Tilbury, and it is crazy expensive. So I just thought I'd mention it really quickly at the start. I'm actually not going to be using it in the video because it is so expensive, but my sister bought it me for my birthday. I have used it before on camera, and it's the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette, and it looks like this, and it's got a sculpting palette and a highlighter, and they are really pretty. And they are perfect for any skin tone really, for highlighting and contouring. But as I said, I'm not going to use it because it's like remortgage house price. So the products that I am going to be using today for my everyday one is from Mercier, the Chisel Cheeks Contour Kit that looks like this. And I'm going to be using this one up here for the contour, and this one up here for sort of the highlighty light parts. And then that's all I'm going to be using for the contouring for every day. For evening, it's slightly more complicated because you want your contouring to last longer, plus you want it to just be slightly more sort of chiseled and a little bit more perfected. So I'm going to be using the Masqua Cream Pigment in Hollow, which comes in this little thing, and it's just the perfect shadow colour really. There's nothing too fancy about it at all. So I'm going to be using that. I just thought I'd have a quick chat with you about brushes. For me, when I really started to know how to highlight and contour was when I used the right brushes. I think the brush is really important. So I've got a few here ranging from like drugstore prices to higher end, so I'll just show you those really fast. And these are the 4 that I use for various things. For my cream contour, using the Masqua Pigment, I use this, which is a Real Techniques Bold Metals brush, and it's just a perfect shape to fit there. And I just literally just like draw a line and it's already done, and then I blend outwards. So that's perfect for sort of cream contouring, and if you're new to contouring, it's also great because it's the perfect size, so you can literally just put it on your face and you don't really need to worry. This one is quite a similar size, sort of a similar shape in terms of where it fits, and I use this to set my cream contour, and this again is a Real Techniques brush, but it's just one of their sort of drugstore lines, so it's not really expensive. The next brush is one that I use for highlighting with my Mercier contour kit, and it's just a fluffy brush basically, and it just fits there, so you can just sweep up and then there and sweep, which is where I put the contour, so it's just perfect size. And this was part of that bamboo set that I'm always talking about from Amazon that costs like £7 for a billion brushes. Finally, I have the matching powder and sculpt brush from Tilbury that matches the super expensive Film Star Bronze and Glow, and I use this for the contouring side of the Mercier Chisel Cheeks Contour Kit, so for my everyday thing, and I just put it there and it just fits perfectly. But if you don't want to splash the cash, you can use this one there and it works just as well. It's just that I got this one for my birthday and it works really well. So those are the 4 brushes that I use. I think if there's any more, then you'll see in the video. I think as well as the brushes, the other important thing is to remember the light and dark contrast. So when I first started to contour and highlight, I used this Sleek palette, which is great. This is another alternative drugstore one, and it's just got your bronzy sort of sculpty colour and then the highlight. And I didn't really appreciate, I used to just sculpt out my cheekbones and then leave it, and it never really worked. And it's because I didn't appreciate the fact that you need that light dark contrast. So you'll see for both of them. So if you'd like to see my everyday contour routine and then an evening contour routine, they're both really fast actually, then carry on watching.
So I'm going to show you my everyday contour routine first, and that's using the Mercier Chisel Cheeks Contour Kit. And I'm going to be using this darkest colour on the far right to contour, and that light colour to really highlight my face. I'm going to be using my Tilbury sculpting brush and taking the darkest colour for the contour within the Chisel Cheek Kit, and I'm going to be sculpting out my cheekbones. You can't really see here because of my hair, but in 2 seconds you'll be able to see on the other side. As you can see, I'm just going from my ear and following the line towards my lip, but stopping on the outer corner of my eye. and that's sort of the rule. Don't really take any more of the contour past the outer corner of your eye and you'll be alright. And then just taking that fluffy brush and taking some of that lightest colour within the contour kit and highlighting my face. I'm highlighting underneath my eyes and underneath the contour as well. This is a really important part of the highlighting and contour routine to ensure that you get that light-dark contrast that is needed for that sculpted look. I'm then going back in with my Charlotte Tilbury sculpting brush and just putting a bit of dark colour above my eyebrows just to give a bit more dimension to my face and to even it out slightly so that I don't have crazy chiseled cheekbones and then the rest of me is a bit flat. And then just applying a little bit of blush. This is Havana from Benefit using a Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm just putting that on the apples of the cheeks and blending upwards. I think it's really important to use blush when you are contouring and highlighting to put that colour into your face and to make it look even more natural. Finally, using that same blush brush, I'm using Glow All Out from Soap & Glory, which is a highlighter, and just putting it on the tops of my cheekbones and slightly up in a sort of C shape around my eyebrows. And this just adds a little bit of glow and a little bit more highlight. And that is all I do for an everyday contour routine. It's super fast and really easy. Now moving on to my evening contour routine, which is a little bit more complicated. I'm going to be taking some of the Masqua Pigment in Hollow on my Real Techniques Bold Metals 301 brush, and I'm just going to make sure that I've got enough, and then I'm going to be using that same line as I did with the powder from the Barry M kit, but using this cream contour, again stopping just on the outside of my eye and pulling some really nice faces. Once I've drawn the line, I blend upwards using the brush, but I do not blend downwards, and that's to make sure that you do get that cheekbone line that you're looking for. So once you've drawn the line, as you can see there, I'm going to blend upwards but not downwards. And this just helps to add the cheekbone look, but it also be natural without it being a harsh line on your face. I'm going to go in with a sort of a second coat of the cream pigment, and that's just my decision because I was going out and wanted it to look a little bit neater. But you can leave it at the first stage if you want it to be slightly more natural. As with the Barry M Chisel Cheeks kit for my everyday look, I'm just going to be putting a little bit of the cream pigment on the temples of my face just to even out the look and make it look slightly more natural. To ensure that I get that lightness underneath my eyes, I'm going to be setting my under eye concealer and also adding a highlight with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Now I'm going to be putting quite a lot of it on, as you can see, but on an everyday, I wouldn't use this much if I was setting my under eye concealer with this. But as I'm using it as a highlight for my highlight and contour, I do use a lot. And then that's it, I leave it like that. I'm just kidding, I'm going to blend it out. But before I blend it out, I'm just going to be putting a little bit underneath the contour. Basically putting it in exactly the same places I use the highlight for the everyday routine, but using a different product. I also put a tiny little bit down my nose because I felt like it. I'm then going to be using my Real Techniques sponge just to blend all that out and to make it look like I do not look like a ghost underneath my eyes. As I used a cream pigment for my contour, I'm going to be setting it with a powder, and this is MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Medium Plus, and I'm using my Real Techniques cheek brush. I'm just going to be taking some of the powder and tapping off the excess and then going over the contour that is already there. That's all I'm doing. This is just going to set it into place, and it also deepens it slightly just to get that sort of flawless contour look for a night out. I'm going to be using a blusher from Makeup Revolution and my Real Techniques blush brush. This is just to bring a little bit more colour back into the face and a little more dimension. And as always, I'm just putting it on my cheeks and blending upwards. And then using my Jelly Pong Pong Illuminizer, which is a gel. Now this comes over crazy illuminated on the camera, and this is when my bottle breaks and it comes out the side. Hashtag well done, Anna. But this illuminator comes off crazy on camera because of my light. However, it is not this crazy, and I do not look like a traffic light in real life when I wear this. And that is the end of my evening contour routine. As you can see, it's pretty similar to the everyday, however it just uses longer lasting products and makes it look slightly more fancy.
And that is my 2 contouring routines. I hope you found this useful. All the products that I've used are suitable for fair skin, but also could be used on slightly darker skins, especially the Barrier Chisel Cheeks Contour Kit and the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow, which I didn't use, but it's so great for any skin tone. It's really weird. I don't know how it works. I hope you found this useful, and thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you on Wednesday for another video. Bye!